Mr. Brightside's trying to hunt her down, then Antino. Treasure the Moment, 150 metres to go, is 2 lengths in front of Mr. Brightside. The new Group 1 kid on the block. She's a star. Treasure the Moment.
Welcome to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host, Scoot. I've got John Walter. He's looking dangerous today. He's got 18 pages worth of notes. He's got a lot of scribble. He's digital and he's analog, aren't you?
Broken, mate. I'm broken. It's only the start of spring. I feel like it's the end of spring. But, whoa, some interesting races this week. It is starting to warm up.
Yeah, it was moving week last week, I'll call it, down in Melbourne. It felt like a lot of the covers were coming off the good horses, and it looks the same way up at Randwick. It looks like there's plenty of platform races with the Concorde and the Tramway, a couple of those, and then you got the Chelmsford as well. But it's going to be great racing at Moonee Valley on Saturday. Nick Noonan, who is Mr. Beach Balls, I'm going to call you. I think he tipped 5 or 6 out of the yard last Saturday. It was your sort of setup with the covers coming off them, and more winners yesterday. Nico's yard on fire.
Yeah, we've been going well, so hopefully that momentum can continue this Saturday into Moonee Valley. I like doing the yard from the Valley. It's probably the best yard to assess the horses, and I think rail back to the track should race somewhat fair for Moonee Valley. I don't think it would be like a bias like we saw in the last program, probably more like the meeting we saw 2 back when the rail was true and a few horses run on from the back. So looking forward to Saturday. Probably doesn't have the quality down here as up in Sydney and even compared to last week, but I still think there's a few nice races on the card, and there's a few horses on the card that look like they could just be better than their opposition. So might try and hone in on one of those on this show.
Yeah, there's plenty of drama last week. Obviously, Treasure the Moment's got plenty of press. Aliana and Vestina, the 2 horses most likely to overturn her when they clash. Walt?
I don't think they've got any chance to overturn her. To be fair, I don't know. I don't think so. Depends what they're in, obviously. But yeah, she's just so much more adaptable, turn a foot the way. Yeah, win the other day. I still can't work out whether it was a bad ride or a good ride, so I think it must have been a good effort.
Like Sunline, Walt said, and when I saw her sort of dashing through, it sort of took me back. I thought she looked a lot like the Autumn Sun when he dominated at Caulfield that day. What about you, Nico? Are you believing all the hype? Is she the real deal? What's your take on her?
Yeah, I think you've probably got to believe it. Believe what you saw there. It was just, I think she had a few things in her favour in the race, like Buckaroo and Fangirl. Fangirl didn't really get around Caulfield. Buckaroo was a long way back. Mr. Brightside, he may not be at his absolute best. You can't knock his will to win, though, in his fight. He ran a great race. Another Will was below his best, and Tom Kitten got scratched at the barriers. So the narrative leading in and coming out is probably a little bit different. But it was a sensational win. I think she's come back a bigger, stronger sort of filly, even assessing her in the yard. She's probably the most relaxed I've seen her parade, and I think we saw, on Saturday, what she really could be. So I think she's really coming of age. And you probably have to believe what you see. I don't know if she can beat Via Sistina at this current stage, and they're going to meet in a Maccabi Diva. Hopefully it's on a good 4 track, not like last year we saw a heavy 8 and Via Sistina wheels just spun. So it'll be an interesting sort of week next week. The Maccabi Diva is going to be a hot race. So yeah, I'd probably still lean Via's way, but Treasure the Moment has all the upside and is the new kid on the block, so to speak.
Small little public apology. Mr. Brightside, probably not gone. He's dangerous. Rain. He's probably the rung below. He's not as dominant as he was, but he's still there. He's alive, isn't he?
Did probably what we thought he'd do, try his balls off and something to get the better of him, which is pretty much where he's at. He's vulnerable because he's not quite what he was, but he's just all heart. So he'll always be there. Getting his nose in front and placing him to win is going to be the hardest part.
Tommy Kitten's now all at sea. He missed the kick in the trial by 4 lengths. Where's this come from?
You should be happy he was a late scratching. Holy cow! If you had to come out with, I don't know. As I said, get him back to Sydney. Get Hippo back on him.
How do old horses do that, Nico? Is it a complete mystery?
I did read some commentary. I think it was on the racing.com website that Ben Mullen wasn't fully seated when the gates were open, so maybe that had something to do with it. So yeah, reading into that, it could just be a complete sort of just pen at the trial, don't even look into it. But it wasn't his best work. But it was on the inside track at Mornington, which is it's like a tighter version of Moonee Valley, that track. So he's a big horse. He was probably never going to get around that. So I wouldn't read too much into the trial. It seemed like Saturday, seemed like a bit of a disaster for him. So they're probably pulling their hair out a little bit with old Tommy K. I think he head straight to the Maccabi Diva first up. So first up next week against those horses that have all had a run. Do you think that probably takes him out of play given that?
So are you saying he wasn't fully seated behind the gates at Caulfield?
No, in the trial at Mornington. That's what I read.
Yeah, no, I'd be more worried about it. He might be trying to get a price, the big fella. If he's on the leader next week and it draws 1, oh, geez, he'd want to think it's going to get a run.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The tinfoil was just starting to come out.
Shaggy might be a late acceptor in the Maccabi Diva.
It started early. We just can't get away. The tinfoil's coming out second draw, start to wrap it around Walt's head, and we'll just like, hold up.
Mate,
here.
that article yesterday didn't wait in. The first article out defending the husband and wife as
on Betsy
being villainised. Oh,
the new news thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh,
what an angle.
At least we know where they're at. Before we get into too much trouble, last week Seppel saved a nation. It felt like everyone on the planet got out on it, which is great. And Nico, you found that, so that was brilliant. Anthracite dashed up. Cash got the cash, fell in, and he deserved a little bob to go his way. I thought beat the bagman on that one.
How did it win? Holy cow. It was beaten the whole way up the straight. Compared to last start when it was home all the way up the straight, this time it was beaten all the way.
Found a way. Treasure of the moment, you gave a push to Walt, and Zeno was scratched. It goes around again this week. I haven't found it this week. It's in a tougher race, I think, but yeah, it can still win, and I think Maloney goes on, but whether they'll scratch it from the wide gate, I'm not sure, and free carry jarred up from the Golan yard, so that put a hole in one of our big multis that we tried to hit with a 4-state best, but it's going to be big action on the the Ladbrokes app through the Little Birdie hosted pot. We've got Moir Stakes, so at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, the hosted pot will close, and we'll be betting our brains out until the last at Morpheville race 9, 5:40 p.m. So I'm just going to lock myself in for a good 6 or 7 hours, and I'll be betting most states. And
no lack of races. Holy moly.
Yeah, so we'll be using some of the best bets from here, and I'll lean on some of the boys' best bets, and it should be a cracking way to spend the Saturday. Walt, you had the Great Escape Rantan yesterday.
Yeah, sort of most, but geez, it was tough yesterday. Things staying in gates and weird stuff, all favourites. Yeah, Rantan. Luckily, mate, old Van Gestel hard to get past those horses, having their 37th run for the prep. Old no statement, but actually it had a spell, but very lucky.
Silver Magnate was an interesting one. Just got locked away with Jordan Childs and didn't take, I guess, the early position. So he sort of got his just
desserts. On the back foot the whole way, wasn't he? He was getting dictated to the whole way.
D Lane is a different beast. It's just two of him. He's got his tail right up. He's probably on the choice horse now. But that was a classic ride for him to just pen away the favourite. But you'd swear he's the biggest Jekyll and Hyde jockey in Australia. And Melbourne have got a few of them. Zara, Mellum.
Yeah,
at their best, they're deadly.
I don't watch enough of it, but every time I back him, he gives him a 9 out of 10, and then you watch him and he gives him 10 out of 10. That ride was sort of unfolded its own way. I think it was sort of the horse went probably well ridden that way. I don't know whether it improved, express, whatever it's called, but yeah, to me, like especially when he misses the kick, he just seems to give up, or he just seems to not be interested. It's very weird, and then he gives others the best ride you've ever seen. He's a tough, and those sort of riders drive me insane more than any, But anyway, he's obviously very, very good when he's very, very good.
Yeah, when he's on, he's on. That's what Melbourne's like sometimes. Okay, weather lookout across all states is really clear. So it's good to hear that Nico thinks it's going to play fair for Group 1 Moir Stakes. Going to have a look at the Atlantic Jewel as well. Chelmsford Day up in Sydney, as I mentioned. Concorde, all the horses revving up for the Everest. The Tramway, the 1,400-metre race there. I'm going to have a look at Eagle Farm. Sunrays, she kicks off. And then I've got a roughie in the lucky last. Shane Adair's on fire. Probably our most informed tipster at the pointy end, especially. He's 5-0 this week, so won't be here, but we've got his tips and they're on the screen now. And he kicks off with Morpheville race 2, number 3, which is Burning Bright. And I dug into this race a little bit, and I think it's maybe the weaker of the two tips, just trying to poke holes in it as we try and do. It's back up in trip here. It's up in class, but gets a 2 kilos off for Taylor Johnston. She rides okay. The Morpheville Parks track is to note here. He's picked the leader, and he's adamant that the lead and on-speed horses are the way to go. I thought 2:45 was skinny enough. It's been a slight drifter this morning. It was 2:35 when I woke up earlier. I thought there's 2 dangers. Capulet dropping back from 2,100 from Sandown, and then Active Duty, the toppy, is from the Lindsay Smith yard. So that was they were 2 decent chances. So she'll need a good ride, I think, Burning Bright, but a couple of positives. Back up into the 1950s is one of them. Not sure if, Nico, you've had a look at this one?
Yeah, I did have a look at Adelaide, and Capulet, Active Duty, like they're proper benchmark 64 horses. They don't have much more upside than that. And Capulet, she struggled to win a race all campaign, and then Active Duty's sort of PR'd at Geelong last start with everything in his favour. So I wouldn't say they're bringing in super strong Victorian form. So if that Adelaide form, it should stack up. You got Rabbitat, who's favourite in the first, who beat Burning Bright the run prior. So you're going to get a bit of a line there. So that's probably going to be your best guide, sort of assess the first race and then go from there, I would have thought.
Yeah, it's raced around Rabbitat last 2 starts. Morpheville race number 4, Synchro, is the next one. It's a leader. It's back in class. Might have raced a bit fresh last time, and this sort of appeals to me. Might get a little bit of its own way. Went a little bit too quick, and it's gone really fast, last 2, and now gets a 3 kilo claim, Caitlin Tootle. And I do notice the trainer jockey combo is an interesting one. So she's a 3 kilo claimer and 44.4% pot on 16 runners and a 31% strike rate, courtesy of Punting form.
That's great.
Caitlin Tootle, you heard of her?
Toot toot. Far out.
You're starting to get into Adelaide. You're starting to bet
I
more
did
and
the
more.
first. I didn't go completely brass in the first. I'm just sort of. I'm happy I spent half an hour on it, but we'll go.
What, you did the first at Adelaide?
Hey, I did. I did because I thought this favourite can't win. So I spent 45 minutes going through the rest of them that can't win. So there you go. There's my opinion. Good luck.
So lay silent, Emmy. Bet around it.
Which that? No, in that race. Race 2. In Burning Bright, 32 starts, 2 wins. I was like, well, he can't win, so we'll find something else, but nothing could win. So let's get to this race.
Valuably pot. Moonee Valley. Fair, dry weather.
What are you doing? Aren't you doing race 9?
Hey? I just talked about it.
It's Synchro, did you?
Yeah.
And then you just brass Nico. So what is it? Is it like around the grounds?
Yeah. Well,
there's a good roughie there. Sav Sonic first up. Bad Detective's not hopeless. 1 paced horse on speed if you don't like the favourite.
Nico, sorry, mate.
Oh, I didn't have a good look, but I think leading at the Parks track compared to leading at Murray Bridge would be much more suitable for that favourite. So can definitely see the love there if that's the angle, because it is a tough place to lead and win, Murray Bridge.
Morpheville.
There's quite a bit of
Parks.
There's a bit of pressure in that race 9. That's the only worry.
I think she'll be fine. In Bagman, I trust. He's been nailing them. So let's get stuck into that. And could be a bit of a Hail Mary or a last league multi job for me, Synchro. So we'll be definitely betting and watching with a lot of interest come Saturday afternoon, because that pot, hopefully we're miles in front of Ladbrokes. Moonee Valley, let's get to the serious stuff. Nico, race 7 is the first one that we're going to sink our teeth into here. It's the Atlantic Jewel, and this is a really competitive race, I thought. Ole Dancer, 440 favourite. Ferrevia is $6. In from 10 overnight. The playwright, $7.50. Alpha Sophie, 8. Point Barrow, 10. Angel Ladder, $11. Miss Celine, 12. And then you got Southern Harris, $15. Horse you like here is Southern Harris. This is 2 starts back with the purple and the white disc. So there's 2. It's not the one in front. It's the one just coming across their heels at Canterbury.
Yeah, it's a nice win. Debut win was at Newcastle, 900 metre maiden. Ripped home into big sectionals. Did the same here. Comes home second fastest last 400, fastest last 200 of the meeting. On a heavy 8 track. It may have been a little bit better than that, looking at some of the ratings and times coming out of the day. But just really like the way she got to the line. I don't think this is the strongest listed race. Esha's come out, so she goes to the Moir. Then outside of that, I think a few of these runners maybe sort of at this level or potentially looking for more distance or, deeper into their campaign where they're going to peak. So happy to forgive last run on the heavy 10 track at Warwick Farm. Nothing made ground that day and her wheels just spun there. She comes to Moonee Valley. She gets Walt's favourite rider, Damien Lane. I think she gets a perfect run here. And if I marked her more to her Canterbury win and her Canterbury ratings, it's one of the better ratings of the race. So at around that $12 mark, I thought there was a lot in her favour here, given the map. Damien Lane, man on fire. There just seems, could be a lot go her way. So in a race where Olo Dancer's going to get a fair way back, I don't really rate the playwright. There's a few others there at the top of the market that seem a little bit suspect to me. Alpha Sophie looked the other one, potentially with a bit of different form line that could run a race here. First start for Moody Coleman. Her wins in Queensland carrying CJ have been pretty impressive. And Ferrevia won, I think, a weak Quizette. So I was looking for a bit of DF. I think Southern Harris gets the right run. The Sydney form's usually pretty hot coming to Melbourne this time of year, and it just seemed a lot in her favour. So I was very surprised she was $15. I'm happy to have a play there, especially with Ole Dancer, the favourite. Potential, I couldn't see her mapping anywhere but last here. So happy to be around her and a bit of the Melbourne form and look for a bit of DF. So 10 and 8 would probably be my 2 there in the Atlantic Jewel.
Yeah, that's the replay of Farivia here at Caulfield last time in the Cosette, and I thought there was a fair bit of merit to that, and she only sort of got cranked up her last sort of 200 metres, and 1,200 metres looks an ideal solution setup for her, and I've missed the boat. It's been 10 into sort of $6 at Ladbrokes, which is painful, but that suggests that she might be going forward instead, and she showed enough dash early at Murray Bridge, and I was sort of confused, and I sort of missed her last start in the Cosette, but I think she's got a heap of upside, so maybe they're going to go forward from barrier 8, and I think that Farivia is the dangerous horse here, and outside of that, I thought it was a super even race.
Yeah. I think the playwright I don't know what happened the other day. It got going again through the line. It was weird. So I'd have to forgive it, and with the blinkers on here, it looks like it goes straight to the front. And if Farivia can get in the first 4, I thought they were the 2 main chances. Ole Dancer's obviously a very nice horse. Agree with Nico. 6 weeks between runs, where's it going to be? You know, it wants a run on pattern probably. Yeah, Point Barrow and Alpha Sophie look scary, but I thought the 2 up on speed were clearly the 2, Farivia and the playwright.
The playwright was absolutely huge in the Widden and the Blue Diamond. I thought its prep last time was unbelievable. Like, it was up and going around November. Then they set it for the Magic Millions Carnival, so it was Eagle Farm, Gold Coast, and it went back to Rose Hill in the Widden Stakes, then Blue Diamond. Like, she did a ton and was asked to do a lot.
If it gave up the other day, I would have been more worried because a few of their horses are not hitting the line great. It was just the last sort of 50, 100. She never looked comfortable, was sort of beaten on the turn and then sort of came again. And I just think, blinkers, the run under the belt off a long prep, maybe it just needed that run. And as you said, it's not super, super strong here. There's a lot of sort of stalkers that aren't dangerous, and the dangerous horses are going to be sort of further back, I think. So they're hopefully the front 2 are off and gone. That's as long as Farivia can go forward, because I've been waiting for it to get to sort of 1,100 metres, and if it sort of lobs first 4, I think it'd take a good horse to run past it from behind at Farivia.
The playwright, number 1, 2, Farivia, and then number 10, Southern Horus. So make sure you keep them in your quaddie numbers, and we'll see how that kicks off the quaddie. Race number 9 is the next one. It's the Group 1 Moir Stakes, and Alabama Lass, 420 favourite, in from 550, Escher 480. Finally got a start. Neance $6, Barrakill $6.50, Skybird $8.50, Rothfire 13, Oak Hill 21, and then you got Arabian Summer 23. 2 replays that we're going to have a look at here. The first one is Alabama Lass, and this is at the back end of her prep last time, and wow, she jumped and flew the gates and just led Barry to box here, and I thought the win was full of merit. She got headed, and she was just out on a lonesome, and she just made pretty light work of this, and just to try her. And then I've gone through a couple of her replays, and she just makes her own luck. And I look at her, a horse that just leads. Wow, I thought she was the complete obvious to find, and she only has to get round the valley to go close here. Nico, your hunting value with Arabian Summer. There she is in the maroon.
Yeah, in her colours, the maroon and white. Good jump out prior to this. She crossed the line with Barrakill. I'm just surprised she's $23. Like, she starts $11 in an Oakley Plate and $9 in a William Reed. They're definitely stronger Group 1s than what she's facing here, and she's $23. Like, she's drawn 1. I think she's been set for the race. Looking at her jump outs leading in, like, this is pretty slick work. Should get every favour from that inside draw. I would imagine they're looking to try and box seat on her, and then it's probably just a matter of getting out of the Moonee Valley coffins. So, yeah, $23 just seemed way over the odds to my eye. That repo with Alabama Lass, it was a hard day to run on from down the middle. It was a real advantage to those inside lanes. Bit of max pain there for me on Gallant Sun at 50s into a second, but she looks another key chance here. I think a few of these horses, they'd really love 1,200. She's one of them. Barrakill's probably another. You'd be really keen on them at that sort of 1,200 distance range, and maybe the Manicato is their race. Neon's, I think she's going to have to track probably Barrakill into the race. I don't think the map works out that great for her. I think the market's pretty spot on. It looks sort of a 550 sort of the field race to me. And I just thought Arabian Summer looks the one that could get the favours. She's pretty much an 1,000, 1,100 metre horse. Her form around Private Harry, the SPs and the Group 1s. Like, there's so much there to be taken, 23. I think she starts a fair bit shorter. So happy to play her early, probably 1/3 in this race.
She's got a similar, I guess, travel log to a horse like the Playwright. Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, then come back Caulfield, and she's still only getting beaten by Jimmy Star by like 3 lengths there. So she's well travelled and she's tough, so I could clearly excuse the William Reid run as just a end of prep for give run. Walt?
Yeah, I was worried how quick it stopped in the jump out there. But other than that, yeah, it's just, you're measuring up 3-year-old listed form in a Group 1 weight for age. That's the way and if you're away from that, Esh is the favourite. It's coming out of a benchmark, 65 or something? I don't know. Off a great jump out win that everyone's what is this real life? Like, yeah, and they've got chances. But I think Barrakill for me is the class and much better suited from a middle draw. I know that 1,000's not ideal, but this is just not a real race. So if it can land in the first 5 or 6, in that running line, it looks very dangerous. I think the best horse in the race by a furlong, Skybird. If it happens to get the best run through you've ever seen, it could just blow their heads off late. Probably get out in price too. Barrakill looks like it's going to get out in price. And then, Alabama Lass, I spent ages on this horse and, she looks like she's improved. She's great, but, geez, it's just so short for a horse we don't know a lot about. Drawn low in 1,000. It looks, I agreed, like a 1,200-metre sort of grinder, like a one-paced horse. Neance is really dangerous. Yeah, it just needs some luck early. But, Skybird and Barrakill were the kind of two I kept coming back to, but there's definitely 5 or 6 chances.
There wasn't a gut buster for Barrakill first up, so I think he'd bounce off that one. Where do you put Escher in the grand scheme of things, Nico? Obviously polarising runner. Do you leave it out of your quaddie?
Yeah, I'd risk her like $4.80. What's going on here? I know she's got a lot of upside, and it's probably not the strongest Group 1, but I'd need like 20s to back her, in all honesty. So the map doesn't even look that, like, I don't think if Midwest kicks up from 2, she might not find the lead, and it could be in a different scenario to what she's been used to. And even those races she has won, they've been at 1,000 metres, big margins, but they haven't necessarily been fast run races. She sort of just got to lead and dictated in them. So I would think that's your real worry. If you look at a back her, if it's a real brutal run 1,000, just how that could sort of bring her undone as at her third start. There's no doubt there's a lot of talent there, but no, I couldn't back her in a million years. So Ravens have a looks to value. Barrakill, this race may be run more like an 1,100 with all the speed, and I think that's going to be his big advantage. If it is fast run, he's going to be the horse that's just charging to the line. All
right, so a similar line of thinking there. I think, Virage de Fortune and Coolangatta. There hasn't been many of these 3-year-olds that win this race.
Well, it should be getting 15 kilos off Ladbrokes. I'm not the biggest weights and measures man in the world, but it's $4.80. It won a jump out.
Who's backing it?
As Nico said, it's controlled every race it's been in, and then it controlled a jump out. And now it's in a Group 1 weight for age race, and if you cross Midwest, you're going too fast. If you sit outside Midwest and you can win, you're a bloody good horse. So, I agree. 20s is what I'd be needing also.
All right, so we're going to completely...
I can't wait. I just say it wins by 8.
Yeah. Any bold statements, Walt?
What about that race?
Yeah, if it wins.
If it wins, I'll go broke. I'll go broke. If it's $4.80 and it wins, I'll go broke.
Outstanding stuff. All right, let's have a look at race number 10. It's a Powerflow Solutions benchmark 84 handicap, and King Zephyr's the favourite, $2.50. Lafracus, $3.70. Princess Q, $7.50. Fly, $9.50. Naval Academy, $10. Helix, $13. Epic Proportions, $14. Eye the Fire, $18. But the horse that you like here, Nico, is King Zephyr, Beggy the punter's pal. It's in the yellow.
So this is a pretty stylish piece of work here at Caulfield on the Heath track. The two out in front in the Godolphin colours are Tonkin and Osmar, very sharp 1,000-metre mares. So he ends up running them down. It's a very stylish piece of work from him. He's had a jump out since this at Cranbourne. We went well on that piece of work also. So I think he's just come back in really good order. He's going to have to win this race to potentially go to a Rupert Clark. You're going to have to get his rating up. So that'll be their problem with him in this early part of the spring. I have no doubt if he got his way into a race like the Rupert Clark, I think he'd have some sort of impact. He's a horse that he's pretty much unbeaten if you take away his one failure on a wet track. So some of his wins last campaign are just outrageous. So I'm thinking this might be a similar play to Sepples last week, where he just has a real class advantage on his opposition. I don't know if he's going to come out and win by 4.5 lengths or anything like that. And he may be a horse who just needs 1,400 to really show his best, but 1,200, bit of speed on here at Moonee Valley, hopefully a fair track. yeah, he should be better than him here. So I was happy to play at the price and just backing in his class first up off some hot trials.
Mate, if he had a problem with his rating, why not just run him in the Moir?
If it was 1,200, I reckon they nearly would have. But 1,000 metres might have just been a bridge too far for him. But yeah, could have been the play for sure.
I like the fact that G Beg's taking him to Caulfield Heath for his trial, because that's my big concern with this big horse. He's a big striding bugger. Can he get round Moonee Valley? I think that's what you're betting on here. I love the fact that he's got barrier 4, so he's going to be off fence. Jordan, the mad fans and the mad punters from Wednesday.
They'll be doubling down.
They'll be doubling down, and he'll need an escort to get out, because this is going to be a popular runner, last leg multi-job.
Man, I'd something that will need the pads on or something. I didn't even have a go at the ride. I hadn't even seen it, but man, some of the responses I got, I reckon he would have had a bad day on social media last night. Yeah, I agree with you that the worry with the 2 favourites are they've not been around here. This Lafracus is a weird horse. It's, 7 weeks between runs. You keep waiting for it to step up to 1,400 a mile, a bit like Nico alluded to. He looks like he's wanting it, but Jesus crikey, you can hit the line over 1,200. He wasn't given no favours down the straight last start. Was back on the inside, then switched to the outside and mowed him down. He's just a line-finding machine, so I think he's dangerous. Obviously, yeah, agree with everything Nico says with King Zephyr. He's very, very good. Looks like he's ready to go. Three jump-outs, trials, whatever you want to call them, drawn ideally to be able to sort of position a bit closer if they want to, or if the pattern's suiting, he can just relax and come down the outside. I thought Either Fire's been given an absolute sore back its last couple and is dangerous up on speed if it gets there this time. Princess Q probably needs a leader's track. As Nico said, its form's not that well, but if the pattern's suiting there, probably the 2 on-pace horses. Who's the other one? Helix is not hopeless either. I've never seen a horse try harder in my life and just never win than Helix. My God, it tries hard, but tough horse. It could get up there on speed too. But yeah, 1 and 3 are they? Lafracus and Lazepha look like they're going to be hard to hold out if they handle the track, same as Scooty says.
Beautiful. All right. And then a couple of rougher ones in 4 and 8 if you're looking for a wider finish to the quaddie or something to sort of save on. Nico, yard again this Saturday, 3 to 5 minutes before the last, and you've got staking advice there, so head to your Patreon to get involved.
Nico's yard service, probably just a bit more sort of early bets now. We'll still post the late information in the bets from the yard, but we're going to have a bit more of a focus on the bets throughout the week. So we hit the board at Ballarat on Monday. Not much doing in the next 2 days with Moe and Mornington. They're RDOs, as DK always tells us. So probably Sunday's the next day we'll look to get involved there. But KRs for Saturday looks a good card and looks a good day to be getting involved from the yard.
Outstanding. All right, let's have a look at Randwick. Walt, weather good. How do you expect the track to play?
Let's say fair, huh? And just hope for the best. No, it should be. I think there's hardly any rain. There's enough around, like 1 or 2 mils. If they can't water the track, they can't, can they? They can't water the track.
Just leave it alone, you reckon?
No, surely. So, no, we should get a good surface.
Great. All right, let's have a look at race 7. It's the Sahi Super Dry, Group 2 Chelmsford, 1,600 metre race. Cho Wolf, 2:15, Sedelius, 3:60. Arapaho, 10, Vauban, 10, Lindemann, 12, Robusto, 15, Land Legend, 17, Birdman, 21. Cho Wolf, Chad gave it a sore back, according to some. Probably warranted. Went via the tuck shot for a pie. Here he is in the yellow, while Waller Mares just got the dream split and got the job done. But wow, he savaged the line.
Yeah, it's a few ways to look at this. He definitely gave it a sore back. Doesn't matter which quarter you're in. Compared to the 2 that ran 1-2. If he follows them through, does he beat them? Maybe. Very, very, very slowly run race, and he definitely peaked late. He's got a very good turn of foot. So, as much as that race he wasn't suited by everything that happened, he also was by the tempo, and that's the 2 inside. So
Uncle Bjorn's horse just poked his head up. Arapaho looked good.
Yeah, and should get a good run here. Just a really honest horse. I think sort of the deeper into the prep it needs further to trouble these horses.
Sir Delius, $3.60. I look at that and very prohibitive odds, thinking that it's on a Cups path, and here's its Hawkesbury trial over the 12.50. Has to sort of shake it up, but does it trouble these first up?
I feel like a little bit. I'm desperate to find it. I just want to find it, and I just $3.60. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. 3 trials, he's ready to go. He's coming off the Brisbane sort of prep, so plenty of residual there. It's 1,600 metres is definitely not going to be a problem for him. The draw is the issue for him. If he can miracle across behind, sort of Lindemann doesn't get across Robusto and he lands the 1-1 behind Lindemann, yeah, I think, I'd love to see Wolf try and run past him, especially if it's a sort of more solidly run race, which I think it will be. But I think, he's either outside leader, 1-1 by act of God, or back to last. If he goes back to last, he's probably making up the numbers. If he somehow gets it across early, then he's in the game. But either way, $3.60's, when your bumhole puckers up, when you look at a price, it's just, you're pushing too hard trying to find the horse, aren't you? Like, you're pushing too hard. And I'm desperate to get this horse beat Wolf, but man, it's just, it's got a lot in its favour. As long as it jumps and lands behind him, that turn of foot's going to take him a long way against this field.
Oh, yeah, I can't add any more to that. I think he'd be in every single multi on the planet, Wolf.
Four-barn's dangerous. It's airborne, but you think it's a kick-off run for it as well too, and it's drawn a little bit sticky too. But he'll run very well, but I just don't know if they can trouble the well set up, or so will Land Legend, but he'll be taken back as well. It's a great race, like you say, sort of a stepping stone race, and it'll carry multis galore through the Wolf. Yeah. Joey Pride will be up there with his pads on. He'll be ready to go one way or the other. He'll be fighting them off after the race, same way, or he'll if it's a train wreck, he'll be fighting them off anyway. He's a fighter. He's a fighter, Joey.
Yeah, and you got Vauban, Arapaho, Lindemann, all dangerous around that $10 mark.
Yeah, I'm with Wolf. I thought he should nearly won first up. If he goes in, he makes it really interesting. I think the argument's more if Via just sort of out-toughs him. I think he gets right close with her. This race, there's been a bit of commentary where he's going to get to in the run, but this horse did settle 5th in a George Ryder when he had an inside draw at Rose Hill and they used him up. So he does have the option to do that. And in the Wink Stakes, I think it was a bit of a messy start. Like, he was slow away, Aliana was slow away, Via was slow away. It just didn't seem like they were all ready, or, as I said, a messy start. So if he can sort of posse up like he did in the Ryder, and I think he's a real high-pressure horse. Like, he's winning the King Charles when Pride of Jenny went a million miles an hour in front. Like, that's his best win for his career. So either way, if it's slow, he's got a big turn of foot like we saw last start. If it's fast, he can still sustain that. I think he's fairly bomb-proof here. Sedilius is scary, but he's on a Melbourne Cup pile, so you doubt he's really cranked up first up. If he beats me, I'm just going to have to cop it sweet. I was happy to bet up Wolf. Thought he was a good thing.
Yeah, I think Chad might be the scapegoat if it gets beat. I think that could be curtains for him.
You reckon? You reckon he goes the old
Chaminda?
Even after last start?
Ooh, yep. 2 strikes, you're out. Randwick race 8, the Kia Aura Concorde Stakes. Group 3, 1,000-metre race, and the market interesting here. $2.90, Lady Shenandoah. Open $2.30, so a fair bit of resistance. Jimmy Star, $6 into $5. Headwall, $6.50 into $5. And then you got In Flight, $9.50. Jetabil, $11, opting to stay in Sydney, which is an interesting one because it looked an easier assignment down south. Generosity, $15, and you got Spring Lee, $18. Let's have a look at Headwall. Was huge in the TJ, huge in the Quokka, and here's its latest trial in the pink with the blue sleeves.
The Quest Success colours, the old Rod Craig colours. Yeah, it just steams up. There's Jetabil in the nose roll behind. It comes to the outside and definitely giving a much bigger sounding out. I think this horse is a 1,000-metre horse. I think 1,200 metres, he's definitely just keeps improving prep after prep, and he's running it well at those distances, but I think he's just got such a dynamic turn of foot that 1,000 metres is his wheelhouse, and yeah, he's ready to go, and huge incentive for this horse to do as well as it can early in its prep to try and earn a spot in the Everest, which is what Jetabil's here for too, which I agree is a bit crazy. I think the Moir looked a nice race for it, but yeah, I think Headwall was the one to follow out of that trial.
Jimmy Star's the next one here, and you can see him just out the back. He's the classic sort of chestnut, miles off him, but he sort of zooms late. He looks like a little bit like Headwall there. He's got that nice little...
You want to oppose this horse, don't you? Like, because it's got its spot in the Everest, drawn wide, going to be back, but then you watch this and you think his feet are over the bloody dashboard, and he can't pull him up through the line. Like, this horse is going to unleash fury down the outside. and we're not watching any more replays, are we? Are we going to watch it?
That's the other thing. I think Jimmy Star's a bomb fresh horse. He's so scary. And if you need more convincing of that, go back and have a look at his Oakley Plate where he was not entitled to win that race at all. And he absolutely made a meal of it, made a mess of him. He just destroyed him. So he's scary for me. And I was exactly what you were thinking, Walt. I thought, there's no way Kieran Maher, he doesn't have him cranked up. And then I watched the trial and I thought about the Oakley Plate. I'm like, yeah, he could just blow him away here. Lady Shenandoah, here's the latest trial of her. And she's a horse that I thought, You know,
she's had 3 trials, and here this is the definition of feet on the dashboard, but they're walking. You know, they're absolutely. She's coming out of these group trials that are often run at just ridiculously slow speeds, and you can see like she's not let go. Don't get me wrong, but a 900, then 1,000, then a 900. She's got to go 1,000 meters first up, drawn 1. And my big issue with this is if Spring Lee crosses her, she's behind Spring Lee. Tiger Shark, Ostraka drawn wide. Hard to say, and Philosopher are the leaders. So these are all horses that are going to be in front of her. And you've got Headwool and Jimmy Star ripping down the outside in 33. As much as I think Lady Shenandoah is a superstar, you might need Chopper Rescue. Old Darren Flindell might be having a coronary at about the 200-metre mark if this horse is looking for runs. If McDonald waves the Ben Mellon wand and Philosopher takes him out and he gets up the inside or something, you know, it'll make everyone look silly. But percentage-wise, I think you just have to keep betting on Headwell and Jimmy Star here in this race. I think you just have to. New York Luster's an interesting horse that Nico might be able to talk about. I wish it drew a gate. Timmy's probably up against it there, but if he miracled across into 5th, 6th, one on the outside, I think you've got to have something on it at 40-1 too. But yeah, Jimmy Star and Headwell, until my bum hole hurts here, happy to do it. Bit different to Sir Delius. This one's, I'm pushing until it hurts this time rather than can't pull the trigger because it's tightened up.
I thought Lady of Camelot had a shot for 1,150 metres in the light fingers, and she needed every inch of the 1,200. I know she'd be trained a lot differently this time, but wow, she doesn't scream to me 1,000-metre horse at all. Nico?
Yeah, I think she's hard to back, Lady Shenandoah. If she comes out and beats him, well, she's top seed for the Everest, and you're only going to find that out after Saturday, but I don't think you need to at $2.70. So I was looking around here. I just want to see a fair track. Like this day can be a bit of an advantage to be on speed, especially this race as well. So I just want to see probably a fair track before I got stuck into Headwall, who looks a horse to my Jimmy Star. I think he's an 1,100, 1,200 metre horse. He doesn't have any 1,000 metre form, so that'd be my worry with him, but he's flying. But Headwall looked the one to me. I couldn't really understand a few of the Victorians coming here. There's a few of them, given we got $1 million Moir in their backyard and they've come to a stronger race, but good luck to him. Looks a tough assignment for a few of them. So yeah, Headwall looks the one on a fair track. I'll be waiting to see how the track pans out.
Outstanding. All on a similar page there. Race 9 is the Group 2 Tramway Stakes, 1,400 metres, and Private Eye. Great winner first up, but had it all his own way. $3.60 favourite from his Lawrence win. Linebacker $5.50, Swift Falcon $6, Pericles $8.50, Willie Do at $14, Militarise $18. You got Port Lockroy $18. You got War Eternal $20, and then you got With Your Blessing $21. Going to have a look at 2 replays here, mainly because they contain the 2 horses that John likes. This is the Hobartville, and this is Linebacker, where they just necked him, and he's in the maroon. And then you got Swift Falcon, sort of similar, quiet ride, typical Hawks, charging down the outside, and they both hit the line really, really well.
So I went forward first up this prep, and then whatever, I don't know what brain explosion happened before this race where they decided to ride it quiet, and then it obviously came out after this and was dominant when they decided to roll forward again. So
yeah, let's have a look at that.
Not a back marker.
Yeah, let's have a look at the Randwick Guineas, and this is exactly right. Went forward and looked like a different horse, and there you got Swift Falcon chasing him again.
Yeah, had the nice run this day, but it's just a horse like I don't think it would have ever gone past it, And then I think would it go to the Epsom Doncaster? What is it, Doncaster?
I think it went to Doncaster and then was just posted.
Yeah, it was, and again they tried to ride it off speed with the low weight.
Maybe a moral beat.
Yeah, crazy stuff. So. Yeah, Swift Falcon was excellent there, and Broadsiding obviously a top class horse too, and he held it off on its merits, I thought. So, yeah, Linebacker is a big tick. Are we watching anything else, or is
that's it. So that's it. There's 3 kilo difference here, Linebacker and Swift Falcon.
Yeah, that's the only thing a little bit weird. Obviously, I'll talk about Private Eye in a sec, but the 2 of them, little niggle on Tyler is coming back from injuries. I think he's none for 15. So there's a bit of pressure on him to sort of kick off, and it's hard to probably win a Tramway as your first win back off injury. And I'm not knocking Tyler there. He's coming back from a forced break and just still trying to find his mojo. That's the only little worry. But he's got gate 6 should be able to hold a spot midfield at worst. He was a victim of barriers a few times, and they're obviously quite less than neutral, that stable usually early in their preps, but he looks like he's completely airborne at the trials with Falcon and is a good little option sort of midfield, whereas if Linebacker rolls forward, I think it's going to take all sorts of holding out. Private Eye's drawn inside Linebacker, so that's should be their guinea pig to drag him over. There's a little bit of speed there. Is it with Your Blessing and Pericles drawn inside Private Eye? So there might be an option to sort of slot 1-1 or push on and sit outside leader or even lead. If linebacker was mine and it was ready, it'd be going straight to the front, to be fair, and that'd be the end of the race, I think. So no huge knock on Private Eye. It was just completely gifted that race last start. Nash has given it some excellent rides and put it in great spots. If he does it again, he'll run well. He's extremely well placed and weighted again. He's just a bit short, whereas I'd see the 2 3-year-olds, now 4-year-olds, have all the upside here in linebacker and Swift Falcon.
I can't add anything more. Nico?
Yeah, I think you want to find these 4-year-olds. We see with Aliana, Treasure the Moment. I reckon the form's going to stack up. Linebacker, he was a moral beat in the Doncaster. Swift Falcon, he didn't get into the Doncaster. I think he would have run a super race if he did, and then he's been given a few sore backs throughout his career. I think his trials have been sensational. I might be going to run early. Like I might have to wait for the Bill Ritchie to really back him, but I'm going to have a crack at him. Maybe it's each way. Like he just seems to be airborne. The map looks good for him. I think he sort of parks midfield. He's got a big turn of foot. And I think he might just come of age. I reckon those runs last campaign could have toughened him up. That run at the end of 2,000 metres, the end of his campaign, he just may have come back a better horse. So he's not that far off the top liners, and I think he's won. In a normal year, I'd probably have him a really good shout for an Epsom this year, but Autumn Glow heading that way probably makes things tricky for him. But I think this race and the Bill Ritchie look right in his keeping. So $6, there's a little bit of sort of scary stuff as well. I alluded to Tyler's going to get his first winner back. Hawks second up. They have a much better record, but this horse, I think he can probably defy a few of those things with his talent. So yeah, $6 I was happy to play.
I don't think he's a 2,000 metre horse at all either. I think 1,400 metre miler. So yeah, and I love those, exactly like Nico said, toughened up with often it's a derby prep and they come back 12, 1,400 first up, horses that aren't suited at those derby preps and can explode. So yeah, I can't knock anything there.
I wanted them to take him to the Stratty. I think he was a Stradbroke horse, but Hawks just don't take him across.
I think he is a Stradbroke horse. I think he's an Epsom dog. I think he's a Group 1 miler.
Yeah, Willie Do It was a funny one. I'm not sure why they opened up
because the
$14.
Computer told him that he's a 1,400 metre horse or something. So they're not trying to. He's not going to Melbourne Cups because they think the computer told him he's a 1,400 metre miler.
Who? Willie Do It? Are you serious? He looks like he needs another lap.
No, they put in the computer, mate. I'm telling you.
No way.
I'm telling you.
You're taking the piss.
No, there's 764,000 owners in this horse, right? They sent it out. That's what they sent out to everyone, that they've plugged it into R2D2, and he's come back and said, 1,400 metre horse.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wowee.
Yeah. Anyway, he'll win the Doncaster now.
Jesus, I'll be broke. Speaking of broke, if Willie Do It wins on Saturday and he wins the Doncaster, I'll be dead set broke. I still think Walt's having a lend to me. Nico?
I swear to God. Swear to God.
Oh, I haven't heard it, but they have a stack of owners, these horses. There was more people at Sandown yesterday, and I've seen for a while, for that horse that won race 1, Engine of War, and he was in the same colours. So, yeah, they're doing some things there. My racehorse that gets people to the races, which is good. I was interested in his trial. I thought his trial was quite good, especially through the line, but he's only had one, and it was back in early August, so that would make me think he's going to need the run. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's a 2,000 metre horse. I don't know if he's an absolute 24, 3,000 metre horse, like a Marble Cup horse. I think 2,000, I could see him sort of that being his distance range, but I'd be pretty surprised if he won an Epsom this campaign.
I was surprised how many horses those people have got. I got a mate who's in like 45 of their horses.
Just for the intelligence? Just to get the mail?
I didn't know they had that many. I thought they had like 6 horses. And he's in 45 horses. Imagine the emails.
Are you allowed to lay them? How would they track it if they've got so many owners?
Yeah.
Crazy,
you definitely can't, but whether they can track it or not, I don't know, but you definitely can't.
Don't know about
there may be a few breaches there that they wouldn't know. People wouldn't know. How would you know? Most 99% of those sort of owners wouldn't have a clue that you're not allowed to lay their own horse.
I'll be in shock.
Would they even have a clue what laying is? 99% of the owners.
That's what I mean. But they would. If they might get $10 out of it just for it's not ready today. That'd happen all the time. But nothing bad going on there. It's just it is what it is.
Crikey, will he do it? I'm saying he won't, and I'll be shocked if he can win under 2,000 metres. I'll do something radical. I'm not sure what, but I'll do something absolutely crazy. I'm a mile off. I have to update the black book. I've got 2 humper written next to it.
Mine's got 3.
Oh gosh. All right, let's head to Doomben quickly. We're dragging on a little bit here, but race 4, there's a horse that's looking towards bigger and better things, and I think the market's got it slightly skew here, and that's race 4, number 1, Sunrays, but the favourite's Impervious, $2.70, Sunrays, $3.30, Severe for 80, Statement of Truth, $8, Pink Vixen, $12, Wizenerska, $15, and Better the Rest. For reference, I've gone to the 1100 metre race where Sunrays did all the work, was posted wide in the green with the white, and Impervious was sitting back on the fence. I know it sort of got held up there in the blue with the gold, but it made a mess at the start, Sunrays, or it didn't have much luck, got posted and was there to be beaten, and that's for Vivka on the outside. It's since won a couple, and Impervious sort of just whacks away as well. I thought that was a run full of merit. And then the next race it went to was the Beedman race at the Gold Coast, and she was one of the only horses to sort of make ground on the day. And then this is the third start after that, and this is the listed Bill Carter over $13.50 at carnival time. You got Halfpenny Hatch in the blue, and Don't Doubt the Ladies there as well. And again, I know it was probably not too big a disadvantage to sort of sit wide, but she just absolutely puts a gap on them and just blows them away. I think she just keeps improving, this filly, and I think she's destined towards Sydney. And $3.30, I just had these like completely around the other way. I thought it was a sort of an odds-on chance, and I started to dig into the rest of the Wizenerska and some of the other winners that were coming from Gatton, and then like the Brisbane maiden form, and she has to be winning this race, and I know she's got a little bit of weight, has to carry the top weight after Emily, and then Emily's Claim. But I just love the sort of the picket fence, and the only loss that she's had is behind Beedman, and she was super that day on an impossible
Ryder's
track.
the only thing I can see pulling it up. Ryder in the draw.
If she slaughters it,
yeah, that's it. That's the only thing I can see. It's just gonna, she's big chance of that too. But yeah, big chance, big.
Oh, she'll be fine on this one. I think I could win on that one. Race 9 is the next one at Doomben, and I've sort of gone hunting for a little bit of value in the lucky last. I think this is a real even lot. I can't really separate the top few. About to Explode's favourite, $3.70. Bright Blonde, $4.60. Gospel Girl, $5. Flying Destiny, $11. Heatchote, $12. Daytona, $18. Defiant Spirit, $20. And then Alda Fido is $21. And I backed About to Explode last start and Bright Blonde. They're both going super, but I thought this new runner, it's not a new runner, Daytona for David Van Dyke. He's back on the fence. He's in the green and the gold, and just love his last 200. You got Fleetwood in this race as well, and then Muschielli, he just got it all his own way, and love the last 50, 100, and this is just the perfect pipe opener because this Daytona horse is 1,200 metres Doomben, and we're getting sort of triple odds the place, and right through the line he just zooms up on their backsides. They put up $21, and then half the field got scratched. Like 6 horses came out, and I woke up this morning and still saw $21. I had to take it, and I think it should be like a $7 chance here, Daytona. So the $4.80 and $5 the place. Like if you can find horses that you like early in the day, like your Sunrays and your Cho Wolfs, get this horse running for the place. He's going to run a super race, and it looks like he's drawn barrier 19, but he comes into about barrier 13. A Malian sticks, and this would be the race that David Van Dyke's got earmarked. This is a full confidence, roughy, each way special for me. I'm very excited. Lucky Last is back, and so am I. Well,
you've literally only tipped in this race because it's called the Ladbrokes Mates Mode Pot Handicap, haven't you?
That helps too.
That helps. The pot could be defined by this horse.
Yeah,
mate. I'll be cheering it hard. Let me just put it that way. I think it'll be set a task, but I'll be cheering it hard.
No, given that it's going to come into barrier 13.
It'll be strong.
It's going to be super strong late, but About to Explode now gets up to 59 kilos. The horse is absolutely flying, but found the right part of the track. B. Thompson gave an absolute peach last start. Bright Blonde's going good, and so's Gospel Girl, but again, they're $3.70, $4.65. I just know this horse, Daytona, is going to go off dramatically, and I'm going to be launching it. As John said, the Ladbrokes app, the Mates Mode, make sure you head to Little Birdie. The code's Birdie TV if you've already got the app downloaded, but it's super easy to find, and it's only $50, and the money gets divided at the end of the day. So we'll be betting from 11 o'clock in the morning until 5:45 at night. It's going to be a big one, and yeah. Very excited. Then you got one Sunday.
Sunday, first go.
Where are they Sunday?
How, do you think I'm popular? First, have you noticed what Sunday is?
Hey?
Oh, I think it's Father's Day.
Oh, Father's Day.
Oh, having your first Sunday mates mode pot. Rebecca, on Sunday I'll be doing a pot for the. Yes, that went down an absolute treat. So, if anyone wants to come in there and save my marriage, that would be awesome.
All right, so you've got a big Gundo Guy Cup or something, is it? What is it,
mate? It's just Sunday. You know
Sunday.
What happens in our Discord, the old Racing Watch Discord on Sundays, mate? We get down and dirty. We go everywhere. We go around the grounds. There's this Hobart. There's all sorts. We get there, D-Pies. Hopefully the Tapper will get D-Ganderton. We'll find some absolute lunatics. We'll just keep betting.
Outstanding. So you got Bendigo, Barnsdale, Devonport, Gundagai, Kalgoorlie, Kilcoy, all on Sunday. So Walt's got a special Father's Day in the Ladbrokes Mates Mode app. So check out the Racing Watch one as well. Nico, good luck on Saturday with your yard, and hopefully you can just keep that momentum. And it's shaping as a big watch and learn day as well from Moonee Valley and from Randwick. So make sure everyone's doing their tapes and get around the yard stuff, because it's ultra important at this stage.
It'll be a big day out there at the Valley for the yard. And just quickly, if you want to tune in, it's pretty early in the morning, but 6 to 8 on RSN. So just head to the website or 927. Trav and I will be hosting a bit of a show there, and into the first word, which is usually sort of the trainer hour there on RSN. So 6 to 8 on Saturday morning, we'll both be on. So no rest for the wicked. It's going to be a big weekend. And then I've got to preview those meetings Walt's talking about, Bendigo and Hobart. So that'll be a job for today. So keen to get stuck into what's a huge weekend of racing.
Don't leave me out. Don't leave me out.
He's turned into a vampire, just like us.
It's Devonport on Sunday, actually. So Devonport and Bendigo.
Yeah, we're specialists there. Beautiful. I forgot there's a little out wider in the first at Randwick too. Kryptonic, $15. It's a competitive race, but I'm sure this horse is ready to go.
Kryptonic. Yeah. I like Anisette in the So You're Thinking race 8. Race 8, number 8, Moonee Valley. I think it's a bit of a hidden run there. All right, we're getting the shake along from our
Easter eggs late in the show.
A couple of little Easter eggs if anyone's still tuning in. But just love that. Nico up at 4:30. Welcome to the club. We'll start messaging him at 4:30 in the morning. We've got another one. Vampire Club. All right, we'll see you next week, and can't wait for the weekend's action. Good luck.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.